I'm good. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. We're super
You.
excited to chat with you.
You
We're
look
just
so
going to get it.
beautiful.
Thank you. So do you. I'm
Thank
so happy
you.
to chat with you. We're just going to give it a moment just so our connection can clear out a little bit.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay, let's just give it a couple minutes and then we have some people joining us. So that's so
Yay! Hey,
exciting.
everybody.
Hey guys.
We need some Friday night music.
Exactly, exactly. And you guys, we're so happy to have you guys here this evening. Well, evening on Pacific time, and it's 4 o'clock here. So I'm sorry, it's evening on Eastern Standard Time, and it's 4 o'clock here Pacific time. So we have them from all over today, East Coast, West Coast.
Yes. Come on in, everybody.
Yes, join us, and bring your friends. Like, it's going to be a good time.
My dog, whenever I'm like right here like on Zoom, my dog always wants to join. He's so funny. He's like, don't forget about me. It's so funny.
Oh, what's your dog's name?
Broadway, and he's
Broadway.
14. Mm-hmm.
That is such a cute name. So
Thank you,
adorable.
my little grumpy old man. I keep a chair next to me now whenever I'm like on Zoom in class or something, so he can just feel like he's a part of it.
Yeah, I want a dog so bad. I'm a dog lover, so yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. I know
they're
they're
like
little
little
children.
humans.
Yeah, they
Yes.
are. And he's being really needy right now.
Yeah, they're little humans.
Hey, everybody.
They're coming in, so yeah, we can get started. You guys, we are so glad to have you all here this evening, wherever you are, all over the world. We're so glad to have you. I'm Danny, your contributor. Today, I have Amber Pickens here. She is just a phenomenal woman. She does acting. She is an actress. She is a model. You also do choreography, and you're also an author. You wear so many hats, and you're very versatile. How do you just how do you do it all?
Oh my gosh. I always say I just let the Lord lead me. Like whatever I'm being called to do, that's how I've been since I was a little girl. It's just I've always been passionate about just following my dreams, whatever my heart desires, I just go with the flow.
I love it. And for the people who don't know, your duties of a choreographer director, what exactly is that?
So a choreographer is an artist that is a dancer, but then also we perform, but we also know how to put the dance moves and everything together, and we're able to direct that. Either sorry, let me just go ahead and hold him because he is just not going to let us have this interview without being right here under me. Ladies and gentlemen, Broadway. But a choreographer's responsibility is to put the dance together. So you just grab the dancers and you organize it. You put some dance moves, and it's about structure and discipline, and you want it to just look amazing at the end, whether it's TV, film, in a dance studio, a dance company, commercials, whatever you're being called to do, you have to create a piece that blends in.
Awesome. So you were able to share some of that choreography and the skills and your abilities in the Netflix film Passing.
Yes.
How did you land that incredible opportunity?
Oh, it was such an amazing project. I actually was in a show at the time, and one of my friends, his name is Malik. We were we were just in the show having a good time, and one of the musicians was actually a part of the project at the time. So she reached out to him about just dancing in it. And she said they're gonna need some people to do like period dancing, like Harlem Renaissance, maybe Lindy Hop. And he told me immediately was like, that is not my thing, but I know Amber really loves that because I'm always telling people to come take classes in Harlem with my friend Sam. And so he was like, that's not my gig, but reach out to Amber. And so she asked me about it, and I was like, okay. And in the beginning, I thought it was just going to be like a small project, and I didn't know much. I was just like, open to learning more and working with different people, collaborating and choreographing more. And she connected me with Rebecca Hall. And so at first, and it did not dawn on me who Rebecca Hall was. And then I was like, wait, Rebecca Hall, like the actress. So it was really cool just talking to her on the phone and just vibing. And she was just so down to earth. And so she asked me, did I want to be a part of it as a dancer? And I was like, of course, it sounds like a great project. I've never heard about Nella Larson before. I was just so interested. And then she circled back and asked me if I wanted to choreograph. And it was such a blessing because we filmed it in 2019. And earlier that year, I wrote on a piece of paper, like, I really want to choreograph a feature film before the year is over. And so to see it just blossom was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and just come to fruition.
Yes.
That is phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. And then also, like, what steps did you have to take to prepare for choreographing for a film of this magnitude? You know?
Well, with this film, it's so crazy because even while we were rehearsing for, I still had no idea that it was going to be such a sensation. So I just went into it like I do with everything, with a very humble spirit. I just try to be present. And regardless if it's going to be a big project or a small project, I feel like so many artists, we should just go in and just be present. Like, just bring your heart and your soul onto the Marley and just focus on that moment. And it was great working with Ruth and just taking it step by step because she's an incredible thespian, but dance is not, she doesn't have a big background in dance. So I just wanted to make sure she just shined on set. I wanted to make sure that she felt confident 100% with her dialogues and with her movement. I just wanted her to feel like a queen from beginning to the end of that film. And everybody else in the dance scene as well, like anybody I could get my hands on during the scene. I wanted to make sure to whisper something in the ear, like, try this out, or the camera's over there, so make sure you do more shoulder action. The film was shot in black and white. And so I made sure that people were just, they remembered that throughout the film, because a lot of times, especially with the different shades of brown, people don't know like the lighting that hits. So I'm like, okay, remember you want that light to hit you, especially for Black people, because if the light's not hitting you, then it can just kind of look too dark in certain things. They don't see our features. So it was a great learning experience for all of us. But I just wanted to make sure everybody looked and felt amazing on set.
Wow, I bet they were so happy to have you there for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that's awesome, because
we definitely
and I'm glad that you shared those steps, because people don't realize how much goes into that. So, that's amazing. I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah.
So this film took place in the 1920s, and that's a much different time period from the one that we live in today. What type of studying did you have to do to truly tap into that era?
Well, beyond the dancing, I really wanted to understand the importance, the significance of when Black people were able to get together and just be free and not really be in a safe space, and especially during that time, because it's not like we're still dealing with racism today in so many different ways, but it was even more so back then. And so what I took from it was that whenever Black people got together to dance in these spaces in Harlem, it was like the one time they didn't have to wear masks. They could just kick it, hey, even if they didn't know this person across the room, it didn't matter. They were happy that they were there, and they were all just they wanted to just be free and just complete abandonment from everything else going on in the world, and just have a really, really great time and leave it all on the dance floor. Every video I've seen, every picture, it's just people are just going at it on that dance floor, and they dance until they're about to pass out. Even earlier today, I was watching the documentary about Mr. Ailey, and just learning. I've always loved learning more about him and the company members, and so many of them have been my mentors throughout the years. And it's just, it's like you're an activist without being out on the streets. You're an activist on the stage, or an activist, standing up for something in these different spaces. So that was one of the main things that I learned from it. Studying more about the Harlem Renaissance, the different roles that everybody had, all the different artists had, and just really trying to bring that into the space in an authentic way. Even if it's just for a snippet of time, it's just still wanting to bring that freedom into the space.
Wow. And so, after going through the whole process and, you know, being a part of it, what are your thoughts on the finishing project?
Oh, I really, really loved it. I loved it because I felt that everyone came, they came to that space with that authenticity, and they were very like sensitive about what everything that was going on. Rebecca, Andre, Ruth, Tessa, all the dancers, all the extras, all the supporting actors and actresses. I felt like the crew, everybody knew the significance of Miss Larson's words, and even the significance of it back then and today. And it was just really beautiful to see the finished product. I felt like excited and proud to be a part of it, and just thrilled for people to talk about it and be able to converse about these different topics. I like when people are able to come up to me and talk about the different things that they experienced during that film too, because it's really great, just another way that just brings people together.
Yeah, and it's so true. Like, it's a way to definitely just even remind us of our history and, just see the similarities and the differences of what how their time period was and, the time period that we're living in.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's awesome. What was it like working alongside empowering women such as Tessa Thompson and Ruth Nega?
It
What was
was
that?
absolutely incredible. I mean, Tessa, I've definitely looked up to her over the years because she's in so many different projects. And same with Ruth. Ruth was actually in Loving, and that it's so ironic because that film is actually about one of my friends that's a big Lindy Hop dancer. That's about her cousin. So it was just really cool, like being around Ruth and Tessa and Rebecca. And even though they're very powerful women, um, they're the way they show their power is just it's very, what is the word I want to use, they're just all so humble and just so loving. Like it was never a moment where I didn't feel comfortable around any of them. They were just so warm with everybody, and I think that made all of us want to rise even more into it. Like they were wonderful leading ladies, and Rebecca was a wonderful pilot for the plane ride. Like she was just definitely great, like so gracious with me as well, and just everybody. They are definitely, all three of them definitely such leading ladies, and more what so many of us aspire to be and to see in
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah, they're very, just it's to be an influence and then just carry it so well, like you said. So I know you mentioned that like this was almost like a full circle moment for you. Like you said, a friend of yours actually, like it just sounds like
Yes.
everything kind of just came together organically, like the stars were aligned. Like this was definitely for you. Um, as a kid, did you dream of getting to this point in your career, or is this something that you manifested?
It's both. It's definitely both. I've been dancing since I was 2 years old, and I know it's because of so many giants I was around growing up, like Miss Debbie Allen, that just sprinkled seeds of encouragement throughout my childhood and my youth that just really kept me going. And like even earlier, one of my mentors, Christopher Huggins, was in here. Like he's such a giant, but just another like loving and humble spirit, and just always love being around him whenever I see him. And so people, artists like that are giants, but they go inward to keep growing instead of just thinking about me. They see that it's beyond them. They all have inspired me so much to keep using my gift of dance to open up so many, to walk through so many doors for myself, and then for others. Like once I get through a door, I'm like, okay, how do I continue to pull people in here with me? Because that's what they did for me and so many artists around the world.
I love that. And last but not least, before we get out of here, is there any advice that you can leave for anyone who is looking to get into dance or get into modeling and acting? Like, is there any advice you could leave? Because not only do you do just choreographing, you also do those different things, such as you're an author, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, just someone that's looking to just maybe not choreograph, but even just chase their dreams. Is there any advice you can leave them with?
Definitely. Whenever people ask me this, I just tell them to go for it. Like, I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and she's older, so she was like, I don't know, I'm like reaching my 40s, and it's kind of late to start my. I was like, Miss Irma Hall, that's from Dallas, Texas, that played Big Mama in Soul Food. She didn't start her acting career until she was basically an elder. She was one of my mom's teachers growing up in Dallas, Texas, and you would have never, so many people just went after it, and it's like you have to put all of your fears and little whispers of discouragement behind you and just like sign up for a class, like sign up for a modeling class, sign up for a piano class if you want to be a pianist, sign up for singing lessons, sign up for dance lessons. Start somewhere, but just put all the negativity to the side and go for it.
Wow. Thank you so much again for just sharing all of, your journey with us. We really
Thank
truly
you,
do
Danny.
appreciate it. There's a lot of people, look, I'm like seeing that joined us and that are in
Hey,
the comments.
everybody. Right. My friend Leslie's in here. She was like, Miss Irma.
Yeah, I love it. I
Oh, my
think
friend
Evan,
Dasha said that was her teacher too. Dasha's a beautiful singer. Leslie is an amazing trumpet player. Like, so much talent in this room already.
wow. And I think Evan's also here, and he says he wants to ask a question after this amazing interview. So.
Okay.
So we'll stick around. But thank you
Okay.
guys so much for joining us here at Young, Bold, and Regal. I'm your contributor, Danny. And thank you, Amber, for having, for just coming out and joining us. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here we go.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself, Evan Jackson, CEO of Young, Bold, and Regal. This is our amazing contributor, correspondent, Danny. We did an amazing interview with Amber. How did the interview go with Amber? How did you feel?
Amber is a breath of fresh air, so it was just so organic, and it was so great speaking with her. And she's just a beam of light. It was just very refreshing, and just for her to just pour onto us like her journey and just like the steps that she had to take, to make it in this industry. So she is definitely young, bold, and regal.
Most definitely. And you did a video essay on the movie Passing with Ruth Nega, with Tessa Thompson, directed by Rebecca Hall. Everybody go check that out on the Young, Bold, and Regal page and on Danny's page. But I wanted to get more of your insight. Was there something shocking that you saw in the movie? Was there something, did you have a take on it that maybe is like a little bit different from others? What is your perspective on the film Passing?
My perspective on the film Passing was, it was just interesting to see the dynamic of the friendship of the two women, and just how, I think a lot of friendships that we see today, you always, sometimes as women, I mean, even men too, I guess we don't always hear it enough because when women were very like emotional, and we share these things with one another, but it's always feeling like maybe you're inadequate, or maybe you're not enough, or maybe you need to do this, or you're just always trying to, especially as an African American woman, you're always trying to fight to get through the doors of where you want to be at in life. And I found that in the 1920s, it was definitely a struggle for African American women. And today, it's gotten a lot better, but we still have a long way to go. And you still see, the struggles and the similarities of, either we're comparing ourselves to one another, or we're, there's just a lot of odds that are against us. So we're trying to fight to get through the doors of somewhere. So we are changing who we are. We're constantly shifting and, putting on a masquerade and just, again, changing who we are. We can never truly be ourselves, fully. And so I love to see women sort of like Amber, like just people that are being able to be who they are, like in some capacity, maybe not in every dynamic, in every way of your life, but being able to be free. Like Amber is able to be free dancing, you know, I'm
Mhm.
able to be free speaking with you guys, but you know, it just goes to show that we just have a long way to go. Like it
Mhm.
just reminded me of where we are today, like in comparison, like it's just very similar. So
Yeah, and one line in the film that I really loved is when Tessa Thompson's character talking to her white friend, and he says, "We're all hiding something. We're all masking something."
yeah, and
So that was interesting. And I read a review, an article about it, and they said the interesting thing about this film is that most films that talk about passing talk about the yearn for being uh, the black community and protecting your black world and orb, as Tessa Thompson's character was. She saw her friend passing, and then she said, "All right, she wants to join in on my friends, possibly get my husband, possibly take over my life." So she saw
yeah,
that as a threat, and that was very interesting because I feel that could be used even 100 years later, where we see a lot of cultural appropriation, and us as the black community, us as black men, a lot of black women speaking up and saying, "Hey, that's our culture, and yes, you can partake in it, you can enjoy it, but you
mm-hmm.
can't misuse it. You can't use it for nefarious reasons."
Yeah.
So, mhm.
And you know, that I'm glad that you brought back up that quote because it's just so interesting because you did see, you know, Tessa get upset with her, like, oh, you're trying to come in and steal what it is that I have going on. But then on the flip side, she was like, she kept saying, you're so beautiful. Like, isn't she beautiful? Like,
Yeah.
doesn't she have it all? Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And, you know, still that you're just looking for something else. We're always
Hmm.
looking for something more, the bigger thing. And so, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess.
and then also the first 2 minutes of it, and the movie's been out on Netflix, so we're not spoiling anything. You guys have
Yeah,
should have
there's
been
no
seeing
spoilers
this.
here. It's been out on there for a while. You guys have to go and watch for yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. And the first few minutes of it, Tessa Thompson's character is in town passing. She has the hat over just to get toys for her little boys. And then she sees somebody else do it to an extreme level, and she feels you sense that she feels like a sense of betrayal, a sense of hurt, a sense of like inner turmoil, as far as when it comes to, I'm using it innocently to get my boys toys, she's using it to create a whole different lifestyle that's pretty extreme. So I think it also, Tessa Thompson's character looked in herself, and I feel like she appreciated everything around her more
Yeah,
about what it means to be black.
yeah,
And it was a very, but yeah, I want you to respond to that point, because that was something that I just realized in the last 2 or 3 weeks, where I'm like, wow, about that concept of protecting blackness from people who are misusing it for different cases.
yeah. I think, you know, you mentioned the part with Tessa Thompson, you know, just it was inner turmoil and like she really started digging deep in herself and finding, you know, why are we truly doing this? You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's not fair that we have to live our lives this way, you know? So it was sort of like a reality check for her. And I
Yeah.
think that, you know, we see those things in today's society, you know, with, I don't know, plastic surgery or,
Yeah.
you know, just the different things that we think, you know, society makes us feel like we have to do all these things. And um, we truly don't have to. Like, I think, you know, that film made you realize, you know, if you're going to do it, really do it for you, like,
Mm-hmm.
and not look back. But if it is going to leave you, you know, just feeling bad about yourself or losing sleep at night, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then don't do it. You know what I mean? Or, you know, that was, you know, her passing, Ruth Nega, you know, seeing just how much, you know, she still just wanted to know more about her Black culture and like just still be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I guess it showed like the regrets of doing things that is like for the needs of society.
Yeah.
So
And and ultimately I felt that she had regretted passing because she created a huge lie. And then when she went to Tessa Thompson and joined in with their friends and went to the what's it called, to the event, and she was having a great time and more events, it seemed that lie led her to unravel, led her to think about, hey, maybe I did do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And did this for something that it was a choice. And she alluded to certain things where it's like she felt like that had changed her life entirely. And then her trying to get accepted back into the Black community, you know, that was difficult for her, because it was difficult for everybody around her, because her white husband was looking for her. Her best friend, who was a Black woman, felt tension. So even with that was very interesting, meaning that if we're all masking and hiding something, how do you come back from that? How do you repair that relationship with yourself? So
Absolutely. I think, you know, I think this film shows you just multiple levels of, you know, just multiple levels of, gosh, I lost the word.
but I see what you mean. Multiple levels of layers of the self, right? And then
Yeah.
because I feel like as the Black community, it's obviously changed over the last 100 years, but our view of what self-love is to be Black in the 21st century in 2022 can look vastly different from the 1920s. To be proud, to say I'm Black and I'm proud, your life was in danger. It still is in danger if you say it now, but vastly 100 years ago definitely was.
Yeah.
So
it was definitely something that, you know, people were hiding, and we can't even fathom that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In reality. But then, you know, there's other ways in our society that we see, you know, how it's even more masqueraded, and it's more, you know, it's just different.
Yeah.
So just comparing those similarities and differences. But what I will tell everyone that's joining us here is that this film is so many lessons, so many things to gain from it. And you may have picked up on something else. Like as you watch it over and over again, there's hidden gems, there's, you know, teachings that you may have missed. So this is a must-see film. And yeah.
So everybody tune in to Go See Passing on Netflix. Everybody follow Danny at Danica Edwards. And then thank you again, Amber, for an incredible interview. And then we're going to be recapping this interview, showing favorite moments. And Danny, thank you again.
Thank you.